DeWitt, the Vice President of Technical Services here at ScanSource, and welcome to one of our In the Hot Seat panels as part of ScanSource's Discover Opportunity. And today I have two of our industry experts from our suppliers, Karen Baumer from Honeywell and Josh Rennick from Cisco Meraki, here to help us discuss trends that we're seeing in the retail and grocery space. So today we will try to weave in a sub-theme of how the technology trends in this space are also impacting logistics, but we really want to hear from Karen and Josh about what they are seeing, again, as trends in this space and ways that we can help you as our partners navigate the change and where technology can help you and your customers solve problems. So to start off, we'll do just introductions of our panelists today. We'll go ladies first. Karen, if you'd like to take a minute, just introduce yourself and your role.
Hi, I'm Karen Baumer, and I'm with Honeywell, and I am really focused on retail and kind of the retail industry lead, and really helping to deliver solutions to retailers that solve their problems and help increase their profitability.
Great, and we've had Karen on some of our other content at ScanSource. She's got a vast amount of knowledge in this space, and I recently learned is also a patent holder in this space, right? So we had you on a podcast and heard about one of your most interesting patents. So really looking forward to continuing that conversation today as we look at the 2021 version of trends in retail. Josh, over to you. You want to give us a quick introduction of you and your role?
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks for having me on. Super excited. So I oversee all of the US from a partner channel aspect. So really trying to do that, to Karen's point too, solution selling and where Meraki can fit with our large partner community base that we have out there. And have been in the role now for within Cisco for close to 10 years and looking forward to see what we can add for value today.
And I know less about you than I do Karen, even though I'm meeting you both for the first time right now. You have a Denver Broncos football behind you. I know you're in the area, so ski or snowboard?
So I am snowboard, a massive Colorado fan, and have been born and raised here my whole life. So okay. Go Broncos.
Awesome. I can do neither. I fall down mountains. It doesn't matter what's strapped to my feet. So great. All right. So let's get started on content today. And we'll start just kind of softball question here. And Karen, I'll lead off with you. Just give me an idea of what types of new trends we're seeing here, right? So we're like I referenced earlier, we're recording this early 2021. We've had a lot of transition in how we go to market in all kinds of industries, but we're here talking about retail and grocery. So what are you and Honeywell seeing as new trends or persistent trends?
Yeah, so I think the biggest trend that we've all seen and actually lived in our personal life is the advancement of e-commerce from a retail standpoint, a retail brick and mortar standpoint, not just for retailers who were built on e-commerce platforms. And then that has quickly led into what we're calling digitization. So digitization of everything from what the consumer does before or after entering a store or shopping online, empowering the associates in the store with technology, and then further back or at the origination point from the manufacturing through distribution to delivery. And that delivery can be at the store or to a residence. So just this rapid acceleration that was probably on a 3 to 5 year roadmap has occurred in less than a year. And it's been kind of a bumpy start for some retailers, but I think we're seeing a leveling out of best practices.
Yep, there's some understated comments there for sure. Really, we're seeing a lot of change in how consumers receive goods today, and those the companies that are focused on brick and mortar are having to adopt solutions like e-commerce very rapidly. I'm glad you did it, and I didn't set you up for this. You're being a great unintentional straight man, but this panel series is a three-part panel series. We're discussing evolution of storefront. Today we're talking about logistics. We also have a whole panel on online ordering and customer experience and how all that stuff's evolving. So thank you for the natural segue. Josh, how about you and Cisco Meraki? What kinds of trends are you seeing happen within the retail space that have new technology needs to solve?
Yeah, so I mean, you mentioned how things are changing, right? And what we're doing is pivoting and pivoting on a dime. And what we need to do for that, and what Meraki has done, especially if you look at, our MV cameras, our sensors that are out there, is to be able to put that technology that's all cloud-based, and I can't emphasize it being cloud-based enough, but to be able to track whether social distancing is being done properly, if an individual is wearing a mask. We are seeing the retail space in particular need this type of infrastructure and this technology to not only be able to help provide safety and public safety out there for health concerns on it, but to be able to track where are the key areas, what are the aisles that individuals are shopping on the most, what is the heat map that comes on that, and this can all be done on a Meraki dashboard that is cloud-based. Gone are the days of having to have 10, 15, 20 people be able to use and rely on a network of what's happening here, what's happening here. All of what Meraki does is puts it in a single cloud-based solution. And so that's why partnering, with the great partners that we have here, out there, working with distribution to be able to help tell that story and then be able to tie it all back is so key. Simply because this is technology that is going to be able to help us move forward and then be able to create not only greater sales, but greater, public safety and for health concerns.
Yeah, but I'm going to come back to you and you, Karen, too, as we close out here, and just help us make that connection for our partners, right? So for folks that aren't in this space, or they dabble in the retail space, but need to build out full solutions, we absolutely want you guys to help chime in here to provide our partners with the best way to cross the chasm. So Karen, if we come back to you, we kind of dig into some of the real world examples, what we're finding or seeing happen in these spaces right now. I've heard you speak on click to card and the new way people are purchasing products, if not also acquiring products. But in the theme of logistics here, we've got an inventory problem. We've got in brick and mortar inventory that's being consumed both by the BOPUS channel, but also the people that are just walking in and wanting to shop. So we've heard some of your predictions on this in the past, but again, looking forward, is this something that has evolved to where we have good solutions, or are we still trying to figure out how to solve for contention for product?
So I think we've made progress, significant progress. And at Honeywell, we often are talking that it's no longer the retail supply chain, it's the retail demand chain, because the customers, the consumers, the shoppers, you and me, we're driving these changes in what we call the demand chain. So I think the challenges that I spoke about in the summer about the blend of pulling, specifically in grocery, filling orders from inventory in the sales floor, as well as having those in a click and collect situation and having inventory on the shelves for shoppers has actually improved. And some retailers are really figuring out how to fill from the back room and have really trained their staff up to do things a little bit more efficiently. So I think that a trend that was hot, and it's still hot is the curbside delivery. I think that moving forward in 2021 and forward, I think you might see a little bit of a shift here, whereas people have been using click and collect and grocery out of necessity. They're now realizing that there's hope on the horizon, and they really did like that element of self-selection, especially for perishables like dairy, meat, and produce. So I think that there will still continue to have curbside in both grocery and non-grocery, but for grocery, you're going to see this blend of picking by the store as well as self-selection by the consumer, and kind of drive back into some front end customer support to pick up groceries. On a personal level, I think it's a great idea because I do like to pick out my own produce. And I think another way that the demand chain is being addressed is when fulfillment needs to occur, we're starting to see retailers place DCs closer to metropolitan areas or closer to ports. I know all my life I've seen big distribution centers out in the country or away from kind of the residents, but what retail supply chains have identified is if you can get the goods closer to the shopper, then that delivery becomes a lot simpler and smoother. And Honeywell very much really supports these two different types of scenarios of store picking, as well as this movement of DC closer to the people. And I think the third thing we're going to see is where some retailers have been testing what's called dark stores for a while. And I would even say 2020 was testing a dark store where it looks like a store, but consumers are not, they don't shop there. It's actually just full of associates picking, but it allows a smaller retail space close to the people and allows for like really urban areas where you want goods delivered within an hour or within a half a day. So those are the three trends I really see, click and collect becoming blended between store picking and self-selection, DCs actually physically moving closer to the people, and the evolution of dark stores.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm glad you went through what you did with click and collect, because I just realized that my development background is reared its head. I keep calling it click to cart, but click and collect is the retail trend. So yeah, I agree. We've seen a lot of interest in dark stores, and it's not necessarily a new technology that enables dark store over normal retail experiences. Actually, there's probably less investment needed when you're not having to worry about wayfinding and getting people into and out of stores. But it for sure is stressing the e-commerce capabilities of businesses that have been primarily focused on brick and mortar. So yeah, go ahead.
Right. Let me just add to that real quick. You're right. It's not necessarily brand new technology, but it's a brand new business model. And with brand new business models create new challenges. So how do you take new or existing technologies and put them into a new business model?
Yep. That's what we're here to learn, right? So Josh, we talked a little bit earlier, just kind of piggybacking on this, on Karen's comments, but we talked a little bit earlier about how some of the solutions that we were discussing from Cisco Meraki helped with spoilage. But as Karen said, I'm the same way. I'd rather shop for my own produce rather than just let somebody that's trying to quickly fill an order pick perishables. You talked a little bit about spoilage and solutions to solve for that, but love to hear your comments just on how we can address that, how our partners can address it.
Yeah, so I mean, the new MT sensors that Meraki has out there right now, they can actually detect what the temperature is within not only the box of what those perishable items are in addition to what is on the outside of it as well. This is key as part of Operation Warp Speed. Let's peel that onion back a little bit and see where that can actually help out for the daily consumer on it. So the MTs will literally give you a live temperature gauge of what is in that box currently at that particular time, in addition to what is outside. And then all of this can be tracked on a second to second basis to see what's happening for it. So what this is doing is trying to make things obviously more efficient. If you have something that is spoilage on there, that can be detected and it's not going to be on the storefront for it. Not only be able to have that, but you can also do the MVs, because why is this spoilage possibly happening? We think it's in a refrigerator and everything should be good for it. MV cameras will be able to detect, was there motion in there? Was a door left open for it? All of this to try to make it from, supplier to getting to the grocery store more efficient, so we can make things as tight as possible and obviously, lead to that greater revenue growth for it. That being said, the biggest and best thing of this is it's all simple. It is out of the box. It is turnkey ready, and it's something that can literally be set up and facilitated, within 5 to 10 minutes to have those trackers put in there, to make it for a greater, customer use, right? I mean, we're living in this digital age where we all want things now and we want to be able to see what's happening. And we're able to see that. And I can only, see this happening and getting better and better as more technology comes in.
You did a great job of describing blockchain and cold chain without ever saying those words.
Yeah.
So I
By
applaud
design.
you keeping it relevant here and not subscribing to these highbrow concepts. That's awesome. So Josh, we'll stay with you just quickly. I
Yep.
know we've also discussed just in the concept of logistics and warehousing and moving product supply chain. You guys have also seen a need for technology to solve the social distancing problem, not necessarily just contact tracing, but social distancing, finding employees and or customers. I'd love to get some of your commentary here for our partners on how they solve for that. Where are the opportunities and what are they using to solve for that?
Yeah, hot topic right now, right? And the MV cameras out there are what can really help be able to address that situation. This is new technology that just got a new beta and new iOS for it to be able to go in to see that what is the distance that's being separated right now from customer A to customer B that's out there. It will then send up an alert. This is all motion detected. So, I mean, if two people stand there, perfectly 6 feet apart, it'll be able to not only detect that, but when they're starting to move, you can be able to see what that distance is in it. In addition to that, this can even translate over to someone that is on a Teams meeting or a WebEx Teams meeting to be able to see, all right, what are the social distancing standards that we have right now? Are they put in place? And are masks being detected on this? So all of the masks will be detected. You'll be able to see that customer A is 7.2 feet away from customer B on here. Masks will be able to detect. We'll see the distance on it. This is all captured in the cloud, and you can be able to go through that. So, that's one of the big things and pivots that I mentioned earlier of how we're having to pivot on this, but that technology is being able to help us, reinforce that and be able to make sure we have a safer community.
Yeah. And Karen, what are you guys seeing as far as adoption? How rapidly is technology being adopted in these logistics facilities, in these small DCs that are popping up?
Well, I think technology is being adopted quite quickly. So if you think about the entire retail supply chain, whether it's at the store or by the driver or in the DC, Honeywell offers disinfectant-ready plastics on all of our top-selling handheld mobile computers, scanners, and mobile printers. Taking that knowledge that we had from the healthcare space and applying it to our general purpose devices.
Yep.
And so I know we've all been in the stores where you see something on the payment pad. It says, don't spray cleaner here or don't rub cleaner. That's because those devices weren't designed for that environment. And what we've done at Honeywell is taken all that knowledge we had from the healthcare space and now applied it to all of our general purpose categories. The other thing that we have is our operational intelligence health crisis features. So not the same technology that was just mentioned, but when you think about workers who traditionally work right next to each other, we're now able to detect if they are too close or if they are 6 feet or greater apart, just by the operational intelligence that we have on our mobile devices in a DC environment. I think kind of the more relevant when we think about a retail supply chain is our operational intelligence solution also notifies where the devices are. So who's checked one out, who's checked it in, and has it been cleaned properly? Because we send alerts directly through the handheld unit saying it's 4 p.m., it's time to clean. And so we have the disinfectant ready housing, and you can use the harsh chemicals to clean it. And then the worker or the associate has to validate that it's been cleaned. And then you can see when they check it in. So we've added this layer of intelligence to all of our solutions. And as far as adoption is happening as people are returning to their traditional workplace. Josh talked about shoppers and consumers in stores. They're coming back in stores, but the other element is people are just kind of now returning to their traditional work environments, and the need is there. New health protocols are in place. And so Honeywell's really focused on having that healthier work environment, regardless of where they are within the retail supply chain.
Collision of healthcare and retail is a great point. And hadn't considered that before. I know our production crew gets mad when I look off camera, but I have to write these things down because I will forget them. But yeah, that's a fantastic point, and it kind of leads me into our closing comments here. But even just that little nugget of our partners who focus in the retail space also having to consider the cleanliness and safety and sanitation, and even backing way up and calling it MDM. Like maybe that's not a part of their normal business. And one of our goals here in these sessions is to help partners make those transitions. So identify other opportunities when they're talking to their customers that our collective products can help them solve. But let's close out. Karen, I'll start with you. Just where you specifically and Honeywell are helping partners make that transition as new technology requirements come up, and what resources do they have available that they can leverage?
Honeywell is investing heavily. I love the word pivot. I know it was used previously. We're pivoting, right? We've shifted investment dollars to really identify, how software layered on top of our hardware solutions are really going to be the tools that are essential to helping retail associates or drivers or DC workers, comply moving forward. So that's on the outside. On the inside, it's not the here and now, but investing in AI to make some of these predictive actions that are needed. And as far as tools and how we can help our partners, ScanSource is a great resource. We also have our partner portal that has all of our latest and greatest information, and contact us. We are waiting. We're here for you, and we're able to serve you, but it's having this partnership with ScanSource that's allowing us to serve the commercial partners.
Yeah, thank you for that. I normally save the self back patting for my team of engineers to the very end. I'm glad you did it for me. Thank you. All right, Josh, close us out here. Yes, same thing to you. You're obviously partner facing, and your company, Cisco and the Meraki division, obviously you're helping our partners make these technology decisions. So in what ways can you help them make those technology decisions, help them, like I said earlier, cross this chasm?
We too have the Meraki Partner Portal and are investing absolutely, lots of attention, money throughout the partner community through there for it. So in addition to that, partnering with ScanSource and being able to get not only that messaging out there of here's the new technology, this is what we can do, but have a whole team dedicated to pivot back to what the new norm is for it right now. So, we're very excited. We're very bullish on the year. We're very happy with the technology and excited to see where it even takes us from here for it.
Well, thank you for creating the continuity there with the use of the pivot. That's awesome. So I'll close this out. Listen, thank you guys, Karen and Josh, for joining me today. Like I said in the opener, this is one of 3 in a series in the hot seat panels that we're doing to help you, our partners, make these transitions and not only get education on the trends that we're seeing in this space, but where there's opportunity for you to play in these new opportunities. So we've got this and a lot more content out on our Discovery Opportunities page. Go to www.scansource.com/retail and grocery to see our other content. And with that, I will sign us off and say one more time, thank you, Josh. Thank you, Karen, for joining us today. And thank you, partners.